Friends, today's story is about a girl who is a very big star of her time, but now she is 50 years old. That is why all her stardom is over, and she uses a black market drug called Substance to become young and beautiful again, due to which she gets a new body, but she has to face a situation which takes a very horrific form. At the beginning of the story, we see that an egg is injected, so that a new egg is created through cell division, and this is the basic concept of this film. After this, we see many people who are setting up the Walk of Fame, which is done for big celebrities. The name of this celebrity is Elizabeth Sparks, and she is a very big star of her time, but with time both her youth and stardom fade away. Then after this, we see Elizabeth, who hosts a fitness TV show. Today is Elizabeth's 50th birthday, and everyone is wishing her. After this, her boss calls her to meet him alone and indirectly says that your time is over because you are 50 now and your youth is over long ago. He meant to say that now they don't need Elizabeth, which makes her sad, and then she leaves for her home. On the way, she sees that her banner red was being removed. Seeing this, her heart breaks, and she gets distracted. In the collision, she meets with an accident. Well, luckily she survives and gets minor injuries. The doctor also loves her and wishes her a happy birthday, but Elizabeth starts crying. After the doctor leaves, the compounder starts checking Elizabeth's fine in a strange way, whereas the doctor had told her that everything was okay before leaving. That's why Elizabeth finds it strange. She asks the compounder if everything is fine. The compounder says that yes, everything is fine, in fact, perfect, and you are the perfect candidate for him. The security guard looks at Elizabeth and sends her away. Meanwhile, Elizabeth sees that there is a strange mark on her hands and feet. Coming out, Elizabeth sees that there is a drive inside the doll, and there is also a note from the compounder saying that this has changed my life. Then on the way, she meets a man from her school days whose name is Fran, and he is a big fan of Elizabeth. In a way, he is crazy about her and starts praising Elizabeth. Elizabeth feels very good after listening to him that there is still someone who likes her so much and considers her a star, and she takes his number. Then, after going home, Elizabeth gets the drive in which she comes to know about an injection named Substance. In this injection, cellular division takes place and a new body is created, which will be her younger self. At first, she hesitates to use it and throws the drive in the dustbin because it is a black market drug, and using it can be risky. But after seeing herself aging in the mirror, she changes her mind. She realizes that she needs the substance, after which she orders it. There are many things inside it, like the activator dose about which it was clearly written that it is for single use, and there are some other things as well. It is a complete kit in a way. Now Elizabeth injects the activator in her body, after which she feels a lot of pain and starts feeling dizzy, and she falls on the ground and starts swaying. Now in a short while, her body becomes paralyzed and she was unable to move even if she wanted to. Then changes start taking place in her body. The pupils of her eyes multiply and become two, just like what happened with the egg in the beginning, and then someone comes out ripping her bag, who is Elizabeth's younger self. She becomes very happy to see her new martyr. She was looking young and beautiful once again. Then she starts stitching the waist of her old body with a needle, and this scene is quite hard. Actually, the old Elizabeth is not dead, but she is just in an unconscious state, and she connects her with the food supply kit. As mentioned in the instructions, now Elizabeth was feeling very good in her new body and she was enjoying it. The next day when she comes out after taking a shower, she suddenly gets a severe headache and her nose starts bleeding. Further, in excitement, she forgot to use the rest of the things in the kit. She comes to know that fluid will be formed in the swine of her old body, which has to be taken out and injected in the new body, and that fluid has to be taken daily for 7 days, and after 7 days she has to switch her body so that new fluid can be formed in the body again, and the cycle will continue. That is, 7 days in the new body and 7 days in the old body. Elizabeth will live only 1 or 2 lives, and she names this younger self as Elizabeth Sue. Here, the auditions are going on for the new model to replace Elizabeth. On the other hand, a new model comes to replace Elizabeth, and her auditions were going on. She goes to the audition. People go crazy on seeing her. She was absolutely perfect for them and immediately gets selected for the show, and the boss also immediately hires her, but she puts a condition in front of them that she will be available only on alternate weeks. She has to take care of her mother outside the town. The boss says that everything is forgiven for you. I only need you for my show, and agrees to her condition. After this, she joins the show. The audience also becomes crazy about her. She becomes a star in no time. As Elizabeth, now she switches back to her old body and used to do this work through a grith, so in this way she was living her big life. Till now, everything was going well, but then a problem arises. When she is enjoying with a boy in the form of a girl, suddenly she gets dry sick and starts having a runny nose. She somehow manages to control herself and realizes that the fluid is gone, and she has to switch her body immediately, but she did not have to do this right now. She had to spend all the time with that boy. And this is where Sue makes a big mistake. She breaks the rule, and to increase her time, she takes extra fluid from the old body, and after her satisfaction, when she switches the body, she finds out that one of her fingers was damaged. It looked like a 100-year-old woman's finger. This makes Elizabeth upset, and she tells the customer care that my younger self has messed it up. Then the customer care says, "Don't say anything, you are the same." Elizabeth asks if they can fix it. On this, the customer care refuses that this is not possible. It is not possible, and you will have to maintain balance in your life in future as well. Now, when she watches TV, Sue's show was on, and she finds out that Sue had completely replaced her. She was feeling that her own existence was in danger, so here she was feeling jealous of Sue. Actually, Elizabeth already had mental issues. She was already under stress due to the lack of acceptance of herself, and now due to living the same life, she developed split personality disorder, which is a very serious disease, so when she used to go into the suit's body, she used to become a different person. Now, after 7 days, when she goes to get her new kit, she hears voices in her songs. She feels that someone is following her, due to which she gets disturbed and runs away to a restaurant where she is doing shivling. Her hands were being used. Then an old man in the restaurant tells her that 7 days are too much. One has to live completely alone, due to which Elizabeth understands that the man is also using the substance, and then she looks at his hand, on which there is a similar mark which was on the compounder's hand. That means that the compounder was the younger son of this old man. The man says that your young cells have also started eating you. Elizabeth gets upset and runs away from there, and on the way she bumps into a girl, and this is the boy with whom she was making out as Sue. And the boy talks to her very rudely, who was very much in love with her as Sue. Now, seeing this, she feels very much sorry for herself, and she remembers Frade, who also liked her in that form, and she asks him for a date. Frade immediately agrees, but when she gets ready and starts leaving, her eyes fall on Sue. She starts comparing herself with her, and she feels insecure. She looks at herself in the mirror and does her makeup. Then she goes, then looks at the guy, and then gets ready again, and after some time, she becomes completely crazy, and she is not sure whether she should go on the date or not. Actually, her confidence level had completely dropped. Here, the friend was sending her messages saying, "I am in the restaurant, where are you?" but she does not reply. Then, as long as she is in the form of Elizabeth, she remains in a lot of depression, and in one scene, we see, during the shoot, something like a bubble appears on her hip, due to which she gets scared, but the next moment her hip becomes normal. But the other people had also seen this. They start checking the replay to find out what was so strange, and everyone was zooming in on her hip in the promotion, due to which soon becomes uncomfortable and leaves from there taking an excuse. Now she sees that there is something like a bomb on her hip, which she moves towards her navel with the help of a knife, and then a chicken leg piece comes out from her navel. But the other one realizes that this was just her nightmare, and she had just switched herself, and maybe Sue's personality also had mental issues because ultimately both were the same. Then when she goes for the actual shoot, she finds out that she is being liked a lot, due to which the ratings of the show are also skyrocketing. And after doing a few shows, the boss offers her for the New Year show, and Sue gets very excited after getting such a big opportunity, and she starts preparing for the show, due to which her schedule becomes very busy, and she feels that 7 days are not enough for her. She wants to live life freely, and she starts increasing her time in the wrong way by taking extra flute from Elizabeth's body. Now Elizabeth used to support the balance from her side, but Sue did not do so. She did not switch her body for many days, due to which Elizabeth's body starts melting slowly, and she gets very angry at Sue's behavior, and she talks to the customer care about this, where the agent says that you are the Matrix. You can terminate him if you want. Can you? On this, she asks if doing this will make everything the same as before, but the agent says no. Nothing can be the same as before, but if you want, you can stop it here. But Elizabeth is unable to decide to kill Sue, and this time when Sue's turn comes, she forgets that Elizabeth is also something, and she starts taking flu from her body. She does not switch it, and like this, 3 months pass, and the next day was the date of the New Year's show. But this time when the extra flu starts coming out, she realizes that it has been locked in Elizabeth's body, and out of helplessness, she has to switch her body, where she gets scared just by looking at herself. Her back had bent, and she was looking like an old woman of 200 to 300 years. But the surprising thing was that she was alive even in this condition, and it seemed like a curse. Now she decides that she has to kill Sue, or else she will kill her, and she gives her the termination injection. But then she realizes that she needs Sue. Through her, she has got such a big opportunity again. And she tries to cure Sue by CPR and starts switching herself. But this time, a very strange thing happens. Both the bodies come into a conscious state simultaneously, where both are shocked to see each other. Then Sue sees the termination injection, from which she understands that Elizabeth wants to kill her. Immediately after this, she attacks Elizabeth, and now due to her body being weak, Elizabeth is unable to face her, and she beats her very badly and beats her until Elizabeth's body falls lifeless, and then she goes for the show. But then she feels strange, and she starts coughing, and goes to the washroom. Then while coughing, her teeth start grinding, and after some time she had her show, and all this was happening to her, due to which she becomes crazy. Actually, this was the effect of the injection that was given to her because it killed her matrix, and without it she could not survive. Well, both could be the reason. Then she remembers that she thinks about making a new body, and then she starts leaving from there. But then investors come to see Sue. When her boss sees her upset, he asks her, "Are you okay?" Now if she opens her mouth, her teeth are visible. That is why she just nods her head in yes. On this, the boss says to smile. After this, she shows them a big fake smile, and as soon as they leave, she starts running from there. And when she presses the button in the lift, her nail also comes out. Even one of her ears breaks and falls off. Now she somehow manages to control herself and with great difficulty reaches her home and finds the activator. Actually, it was told that this activator can be used only once, but still she injects it and wishes that she should be given a new body. But that was the Matrix. It was a copy, so the copy tries to make a copy here, which results in multiple cellular division instead of single cellular division, and this time she comes out in a very dangerous form. In the form of a very big tumor where everything was upside down, her hand could not be touched. The breast was stuck somewhere and Elizabeth's face was stuck on the back. Overall, she was looking very dangerous. Seeing herself in this form, she is completely shattered. But still she gets ready for the show, looks at her weird body parts and takes out Elizabeth's face from the poster and wears it like a mask, and finally she accepts her original self, and in this way she goes to the show. She feels that everyone is pressing her, praising her, but in reality, everyone was worried after seeing her on the stage that what is this thing, and then her flesh comes off. A breast comes out of her eye socket and the audience gets scared after seeing this and everyone calls her a monster. Then some security guards also come to attack her and her head is cut off with an axe. But again another head grows. Fountains of blood start coming out of her body and all the people present there get bathed in blood. Now in the end, Elizabeth's body starts breaking and falling apart and turns into a piece of flesh. but her face part is still alive and crawls like an amoeba and goes to the same star place, and in her end moment, Elizabeth is happy remembering her star life, and with this, she dies, and the story ends at this moment. I will return with such a wonderful story. If you liked the story, then like the video, subscribe, and do not forget to share the video with your friends. See you in the next video. Thank you.